The Arklay Mountains. Raccoon City's rural mountain range and surrounding forest in the city's northwestern outskirts. A temperate hardwood forest dense with pine, maple and oak trees and rich native vegetation had always proved a popular hiking and camping destination for tourists and nature lovers alike. The urban legends of people vanishing in the fog or of strange monster sightings only served to heighten its enigmatic allure and made it near impossible for incumbent travelers to resist. Perhaps it was the recent outlandish reports of ritualistic murders by a cult of cannibals supposedly living in a mountain hideout that attracted the young group of tourist hikers in the early days of May in 1998. They were curious to see if the sightings were true and eager to find what lurked beneath the thick veil of mist as they made their ascent up the mountain road as the sun slowly sank into a silent dusk. They found a nice place to make camp for the night where they pitched their tents. The air was still and the stars shone clearly here, far from the maddening industrial city they had left miles before. A strange feeling of peace in this still isolation. Tomorrow, at the break of dawn, they would hike through the forest and head towards the Arklay Mountains, whose stunning views and unmatched beauties were often talked about amongst the hard-working townsfolk. In the middle of the night, as a thick veil of fog blanketed the dense pinewood trees, one of the hikers awoke to the sounds of stirring, the unmistakable cracking of nearby branches and foliage, followed by shuffling against dirt. Assuming this to be one of the campers heading out to relieve themselves, she slowly peels back the opening in her tent and goes to inspect the source of the noises. She and the other hikers were never seen again. Days pass and not a single one from the group returns. Could they have vanished in the fog? Or were they taken by cannibals? Concerned family members and locals living near to the forest outskirts sound the alarm, and it isn't long before the Raccoon City Police Department is inundated with strange reports about missing persons and unusual sightings of dog-like monsters in the forest. The city police launch a mountainside search for the missing hiker group spanning days, with the hope of finding them alive, fading with each passing sunset as the vastness of the primeval forest loomed heavy. On May 20th at around 10 p.m, a 20-year-old woman's body was found by a passerby on the left bank of the Marble River in the cider district of Raccoon City. The police arrive and fish the mangled corpse from the river, bearing large teeth marks on her mutilated arms and left foot, suggesting considerable force. The police assume she was attacked by a grizzly bear or some other animal. The victim wore a hiking boot on her remaining foot, and they determined in their report that she was likely attacked in the Arklay Mountains and fell into the Marble River, which carried the body downstream towards the city. The police quickly worked to identify the victim. By May 27th, the sensational story had been published in the Raccoon Times, and the case began to capture the attention of the Raccoon City public, and tensions about the uptick in recent murders pervaded hearts and minds. On June 16th, 1998, roughly a month later, the Raccoon Weekly published an article with the title "Monsters in the Arklay Mountains?" with further reports from citizens who claimed to have seen ferocious dog or wolf-like monsters running in large packs through the forest. "Stay out of the Arklay Mountains," the paper warns jokingly. "But if you're looking for adventure, check it out." The reign of violence would continue unabated, as more grisly discoveries are made in early to mid-June. A family of 3 found slaughtered in West Arklay Mountains, their bodies covered in bite marks, which the Raccoon police determined were human in origin. Soon after, the body of a 39-year-old man discovered on a riverbank missing portions of flesh, similarly cannibalized by human teeth. Then, an elderly couple found slain in their isolated mountain home, with large bite marks on their necks, and according to autopsy reports, human meat in their digestive tracts. The stories that captured most of the public's attention, however, were the series of outlandish murder cases outside the Arklay Mountains, in which whole families were reportedly attacked by groups of about 10 people and eaten alive on the city's outskirts. The macabre and sensational nature of these gruesome crimes, coupled with the fact that they now seem to be creeping ever closer to Raccoon City doorsteps, garnered widespread coverage from media outlets and instilled a sense of impending dread in the hearts of an increasingly fearful populace. With the other missing hikers still unaccounted for, and seemingly no end to the reports of grotesque monsters and cannibalistic murders, the Raccoon City public demanded stronger police action. By July 9th, as reported in the Raccoon Times, due to the escalating violence in and around the Arklay Mountains, the city authorities decided to barricade the mountain road leading to the forest, thereby preventing any more potential victims running afoul of whatever lurked beneath the mist. Expecting the search to be difficult given the large area to cover, and with the increasing profile and peculiar nature of the case, local authorities contacted the Raccoon City Police Department's Elite Special Force Division, S.T.A.R.S, comprised of ex-military personnel and specialist experts, to help begin the search for the remaining hikers, and officially handed the case over to them on Thursday, July 9th, 1998. S.T.A.R.S, the Special Tactics and Rescue Service, a unique task force founded in 1996 under the control of the Raccoon City Police Department to counteract increasing city terrorism and other crimes. It is an elite unit comprising of stellar candidates in their respective fields assigned to special missions. It is composed of two teams, Alpha and Bravo. It is the Bravo team that are dispatched into the Arklay Mountains first. The members of Bravo team. Richard Aiken, Bravo's communications expert, the only link back to headquarters for teams out in the field. He is radioman for both squads. Enrico Marini, mission leader. Bravo team's leader and second only to Albert Wesker, commander and founder of the S.T.A.R.S unit. Forrest Bayer. Forrest is a great sniper in addition to his duties as Bravo team's vehicle specialist. Kenneth J. Sullivan, a quiet but very talented field scouting officer, formerly worked as a chemist. Rebecca Chambers, the youngest and most recent member of the Bravo team. She graduated from university at the age of 18 and has been recruited for her knowledge of field medicine and first aid. She is nervous around other members, both because of her age and lack of experience. She's also our protagonist. Edward Dewey, Bravo team's pilot. By mid-July, the reported death toll arising from the Arklay Mountains and its surrounding populated areas reached 20 people, consisting of 13 Raccoon City locals attacked in their homes and 7 out-of-state hikers killed in 5 separate attacks. The S.T.A.R.S unit began exploring the theory of a cult based in a hideout in the mountains who ritualistically murdered and ate their victims after consuming narcotics, and before long, S.T.A.R.S leader Albert Wesker approved the mission for S.T.A.R.S Bravo team to enter the forest zone and investigate. And thus, the Raccoon Forest mission begins. A helicopter takes off from the Raccoon Police Department on the night of July 23rd, 1998, as Bravo team launches a mountainside search for more hikers in the Raccoon Forest, and to investigate the chilling reports of mutilation and murder in the Arklay Mountains.